However, reports have increased about the status of human rights and rule of law inside Rwanda and its efforts to silence critics living abroad. This hearing will continue to examine the future of democracy and the rule of law in Rwanda in light of persistent criticism of its government's behavior at home and on the international stage. Since the election, Rwandan authorities have targeted, what a word, targeted, several political opposition figures for questioning or arrest. So those who were unhappy with the results, couldn't participate the way they ought to have been able to do, now get further retaliation after the election. I don't see where that's some progress.
The assault on defenders and political space is quickening, and Rwanda is becoming a role model for the wrong things as opposed to the right things. It is not good for Africa, it is not good for the United States or for the global community, as history is littered with many examples of countries where political intolerance has led to political conflict, and that has been extremely damaging.
Post-election is now revenge. It's a period of revenge. It's revenge big time. And revenge has singled out in particular Diane Rwigara.
An example of why there is skepticism about the nature of free elections in Rwanda is the case of businesswoman Diane Rwigara, who ran as a critic of Kagame. Days after she launched her campaign, nude photos allegedly of her were leaked onto the internet in an attempt to discredit her. She said she would not be intimidated and continued her campaign. On July 7th, the National Electoral Commission disqualified her and two other candidates on technical grounds, alleging they had not collected enough valid signatures. Amnesty International said that the election would be held in a climate of fear and repression, and the Commission's decision was criticized by the U.S. State Department as well as the European Union. Following the election, Rwigara launched an activist group called the People's Salvation Movement to challenge the regime on its human rights record, saying that the country's parliament is little more than a rubber stamp. Within days, her home was raided, and she was arrested for forgery and tax evasion. Within days, although she was released, Rwigara was rearrested for forgery and offenses against state security. Her mother and her sisters were also subsequently arrested for tax evasion.
Why her? Why her? There are a number of reasons why her. First of all, she is the one who dared to raise issues of democracy, issues of human rights, issues of moral corruption.
I am a Rwandan person living in Rwanda who has seen what is going on, who has heard what is going on, who has experienced a lot that our country, our government is doing that is not right. I believe I can speak for the people, because the people who are in power, who are supposed to be representing us, to be working for us and speaking on our behalf, are not doing so.
Rwigara's own father was killed 2 years ago. in a mysterious accident. When the family protested, the government moved on and demolished their hotel.
Where is Rwandan opposition leader Diane Rwigara? That is the question on the mouths of many in Rwanda today.
La parole de Diane Rwigara, l'opposante rwandaise, a accepté de répondre aux questions de France 24. Cela fait 3 semaines que sa famille s'inquiète sur son sort.
uretse mvuga ibyo nshaka umwana wanjye yariyamamaje nk'umunyarwanda dore ko iki gihugu ntawe ukigiramo uburenganzira murangije muratugerekaho imisoro itarigeze ibaho amapingu turayamenyereye.
Pressure is building. There are trends now where the political space is closing, and Rwanda is usually referred to as the epicenter, and that I think is extremely alarming because, as one of my colleagues just said, wasn't that similar to where we were just before '94 when there was no space and no ability to engage in dialogue?